Hello, geography students. This is Mrs. Politsky. I have your notes for Chapter 12, Section 1, the Physical Geography of Southern Europe. So we're going to start by talking a little bit about the geography as far as where these items that we're going to talk about are located. So the continent of Europe, for the most part, really is a peninsula. If you look at the shape of it, kind of there in the middle picture, for the most part, it really does kind of stick out from the rest of the mainland. And needless to say, there are several different peninsulas that are located here. West to east, there is the Iberian Peninsula, which today encompasses countries like Portugal and Spain. You have the Italian Peninsula, which is primarily the country of Italy. And then you also have the Balkan Peninsula, uh, which is kind of pictured off here to the right, which would include countries like uh, Greece, but also would include some of the what used to be the former nations of Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, a little bit of Romania. So we're going to talk a little bit more about some of those nations further on, but we are going to talk a little bit about Greece here, and so that's one of the reasons why we're talking about the Balkan Peninsula. We haven't even mentioned the different peninsulas that are in the north, and we'll get to those at a later date. Anyway, in number 2, Southern Europe is also known as the Mediterranean Europe, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that the Mediterranean Sea kind of forms the southern border here. And for the most part, it also helps dictate the climate. Number 3, much of southern Europe is covered by rugged mountains, maybe not necessarily with elevations that rival that of the Alps, but needless to say, many of these mountains are volcanic, especially those that are located in parts of Italy. But it does make for some challenges for the people that live here. And number 4, the Aegean Sea is home to more than 2,000 different islands. And number 5, the coastal plains and also the river valleys of southern Europe are ideal for farming. Items like grapes, olives really do make up a bulk of the agricultural products that are coming out of this region. And number 6, most people live in the coastal plains and river valleys because there are more ways to earn a living within these regions. Everything from raising crops to some of the different industries that are located there. When we talk about the mountains, some of the different mountain peaks that you're going to find within southern Europe, we do have to talk about the Alps, even though the Alps kind of form the northern part of this region. Mount Blanc, which is along the French and Italian border, is seriously a pretty significant mountain. It is one of the highest mountains, if not the highest mountain in Europe, at 15,771 feet. In France and parts of Spain, you have the Pyrenees, and Mount Neto is the highest peak there. It's at 11,168 feet. And the Apennines, which is a series of mountains that kind of goes, basically stretches through the heartland of Italy. The highest peak is the Great Rock of Italy at 9,554 feet. And in the Pindus Mountains, which is in parts of Greece, in the Balkan Peninsula, you have Mount Linka, which is one of their highest peaks at over 8,652 feet. It kind of rivals Mount Olympus as being some of the tallest peaks within this region. All right, largest bodies of water in southern Europe. You have the Mediterranean Sea, which obviously, is probably the biggest. We also have the Adriatic Sea, which is known for its beautiful blue colors. You also have the Aegean Sea, and finally the Ionian Sea. Countries like Italy and Greece because of the vast number of islands and the amount of coastal land. These bodies of water, for the most part, really do kind of impact the day-to-day living in those countries. And number 9, the sea is important to southern European economies because port cities, for the most part, they'll ship goods around the world, and also fish, along with shellfish, supports a fishing industry. The longest river within southern Europe is the Tagus River at 626 miles. It begins in central Spain and flows west across the Iberian Peninsula to the Atlantic Ocean. The Po River in the northern part of Italy is at 405 miles. It flows through some of the most fertile and densely populated areas, from basically the Alps to the Adriatic Sea. Number 11, Southern Europe's Mediterranean climate is also considered a subtropical dry summer climate due to its warm, sunny days and mild nights that they get to experience for most of the year. The Mediterranean climate is ideal for growing citrus, fruits, grapes, olives, and wheat. Number 12, Southern Europe is also covered by rugged landforms. We've mentioned our mountains here, but in number 13, in Southern Europe, the ideal areas for farming are along the coastal plains and in the river valleys. Hence, more people are going to live along these areas because there's a greater amount of opportunities to earn a living. And number 14, 2 important resources in Southern Europe are its climate, which is great for tourism, and its seas, again, also great for tourism and also commercial industries. Thank you very much.